You what? People are nuts. They really are. And I got other people will back me up on this. I was watching the vlogger. Him and his wife was walking up to this abandoned house. And you can tell the house has been abandoned probably 30 years because the grass is growing up. There's trees growing up in the yard. You know, the grass, the weeds, it just hasn't been taken care of in 30 years. Amazing. None of the windows are broken, but they're walking up, you know, and there's dead leaves on the steps. Nice looking steps, but there's dead leaves. They're dirty. The steps, concrete steps. As they walk up the sidewalk steps, right to the right, in all the weeds and stuff, we still can see it easily, is an antique. I tell you what, it's enough to make a preacher cuss. There's an antique sewing machine sitting on top of a nice antique desk, and there's still fabric in a sewing machine. Antique. He looks at his wife, whom is holding the camera, and what he tells her. He says, Becca, people are nuts, and I'm quoting him. People are nuts. Who in the right mind? Keyword right mind. They're not. But who in the right mind would leave an antique sewing machine sitting on the top of a nice antique desk out in the yard where it's rained on it 1,000,000 times? Leave it outside. Who would do that? That thing's worth some money. I tell you what, I've seen, this video ain't long enough, I've seen 1,000,000 abandoned places on video, and people leave. Sorry for the noise. Get him out of here. People leave. You see my little anger. That's how stupid people are. People leave. When you're driving in the car, if you ever drive by what you think is an abandoned house or whatever, there's a 95% chance that when you drive by that house, 95% chance there's some good stuff in there. You know, you can't take it because of theft, but it's probably been abandoned so long, the owner's probably gone. Or I mean, it's a tragic, sad. And him and his wife. I mean, I've seen other vloggers go around these abandoned places. Here's some of their junk, but 95% of what I've seen on video, and I've seen tons and tons and tons of abandoned places, houses, you name it. He goes in. Him and his wife Becca. They go in this one house. One side of the room, the roof is caved in, so it's raining in this one side of the room. And this room that they're in, I guess it's a living room, the roof is starting to cave in, but it's still dry enough. And here's these old antique books. You know, just dry enough. Sorry for the noise. Damn noise. Anyway, it's just dry enough in this room that these antique books dated back to 1800s, they're still writing in them. It's sad. They're still just decent and good enough. If they'd been in another room, like he was telling his wife on video, they'd been destroyed. But that roof, just half caved in, but still just dry enough to keep it preserved. A bunch of nice, decent, good antique books. He says to his wife again, people, you're nuts. They're just nuts. You're just nuts. Why would you leave that shit set there? And then this other couple goes into this abandoned hospital. Man, the equipment's sitting there, hundreds of thousands of dollars of equipment. I don't understand. They don't. What's wrong with this world? Just leaving the good stuff there. I mean, you know, before my uncle and aunt died, one of the last visits he had with us, and she died about a year later. They was talking about when they were kids in the Great Depression. Now, he owned some apartment building downtown Cincinnati. He was talking about the stuff people leave behind. He looks at my aunt and he says, you know, in our days during the Depression, you would never leave stuff like that behind. Never. Well, now in today's world, we leave everything. We're wasteful. Boy, if you was wasteful in the Great Depression, you did without. But today's world is all it is waste. Good waste. Good stuff. It just makes you sick. This lamps. Before I come out here to make this video, they found a nice watch in the abandoned house. Just good stuff. Just people just don't care. He was telling his wife. She said, "Why does people leave such good stuff?" He said, "They just don't care. It's the way the world is." I think he's 28. It's the name of their channel is Exploring with. I meant to tell you, Exploring with Rick and Becca, Bekah. I watch them all the time. I've been watching about a month. I've been watching. Other vlogs, I just found them, but I've been watching in the last 10 years. I've watched tons and tons of abandoned places, and it's sad. We live in a very sad world of waste. Just good. And then they go to this other abandoned home that caught fire. Guess what they find? All kind of good Atari games. You could clean it up and sell on eBay. I guess they take it because it shows them collecting it. The house has been burnt. It's been abandoned probably 20 years, 25 years, and they're going crazy because they opened this whole box, nothing but video games, nothing but controllers, everything. They're a little cosmetic damage because it's been in the heat of a fire, but nothing to hurt them. They'll still. He's telling his wife on the video, they'll still work. Yeah, it's a sad world. Because people, they just don't care no more.